The world that we're currently living in, the system of evil, the matrix, the control. This is actually what the Bible was referencing in Babylon the Great. Within the Bible, it notes that Babylon has become a dwelling place for demons, a haunt for every unclean spirit. It also notes that the kings of earth, this meaning the world leaders, have committed immorality with her. And by her, they refer to Babylon as her. Much like everything else, you have to view these lessons with the third eye. Just as Jesus is the Christ consciousness, Babylon is this evil energy which powers the matrix. Another quote from within the Bible actually talking about waking up to the truth of what we are living in. Come out of her, my people, lest you spare in her plagues, for her sins are as heaped high as heaven. This is actually saying is, do not live within the matrix. Don't stay in the system of evil, because you too will become a part of it, as you'll follow them like sheep. The merchants of earth have grown rich from the power of her luxurious living. What this quote means is that money is materialistic and it only drives the ego. It has blinded people from the true nature of life. It also states that all nations were deceived by this sorcery. And another interesting thing to add to all of this is that the 5D, fifth dimensional new earth, was also mentioned in the Bible. This is what they referred to as the New Jerusalem. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. What this is saying is that this energy, this Christ consciousness, which is what's going to create this new earth, this fifth dimensional 5D reality, focusing on unconditional love, is here for those who are in tune with the earth and the universe. Similar messages have been given to me directly through my channeling of the universe. Proof of this is within my first video, The Great Awakening, as I say towards the end of the video that we must create holy societies in tune with our earth and our universe, where God and spirituality is our #1 priority. As I've said before, the original Christianity was spirituality. When Jesus had incarnated here as a man, his teachings were much more in tune with spirituality. In Matthew 6:22, Jesus says, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." This is directly referring to the third eye, or the pineal gland, which is a primary focus in spirituality, as it is the eye of knowledge, the eye of wisdom, our connection to the source, our connection to God. One thing many Christians must realize is that there is far too much hate going around towards other religions. But the third eye, this same single eye that Jesus is referring to, is in many Eastern religions such as Hinduism and Buddhism. All of these major world religions stem upon a spiritual awakening and a deep connection with the source. Another important thing to note is when Jesus says, "I am not your master. He who will drink from my mouth shall become as I am. I myself shall become he, and the things that are hidden shall be revealed to him." This is also directly referring to a third eye awakening, a spiritual awakening, as you see what others cannot see, what appears to be hidden, but is actually in plain sight when you turn to the source, when you turn to God, the universe. Going back to the creation of the 5D, the new earth, in the end times, the Bible also notes that in the end times, in Peter 3:10, that the evil works done upon the earth shall be exposed. Some of this is already coming to the surface, such as the child sex trafficking for the drug adrenochrome, which is a satanic ritual of extracting adrenochrome from the adrenal glands of tortured children. There is much more on the origins of the evil ruling our world within the Bible, but it has been taken out. In fact, an entire section known as the Book of Enoch talks about beings known as Watchers who have come and taught evil to humanity. This has been hidden away and only been found in sections in the recent years. This is what the story of Adam and Eve truly was. Adam and Eve represents humanity being pure, and the snake represents the reptilian beings who taught humanity evil acts against God. These beings are the ones which still currently rule this world. Many beings are here both to help us and to tear us apart. It is up to us, by using our mind's eye, to decipher the difference between these two. As the old saying goes, art is the language for the illiterate. After using my third eye, deciphering some ancient pictures, I've noticed that this picture in particular shows Jesus and what looks to be a Native American woman and another holy man of some sort, all with the halo of enlightenment. And what's interesting is that next to them you see a priest, and the priest only appears to be holding a church. And to me, what this symbolizes is that most priests and most Christians nowadays only quote a book. All they are the holy men of their building. They are locked in a box, which is what appears to be around the priest's head. As I'm sure this is not the true meaning of it, but it is interesting to note that the box around the priest's head also looks like a coronavirus face shield. One thing that we have to realize is that most of the Bible was written long after Jesus' death. And many people forget Jesus did not write the Bible. I'm sure many of you have heard of the game Telephone. Many of you have probably played it. You whisper something into someone's ear and it goes down the line, and almost all the time the original message is completely distorted. Now you gotta think, we're talking about a religion that's thousands of years old, that's been translated into many languages. If you translate something into Google Translate once or twice and back into English, you see even that is screwed up. So imagine the flaws of translation over the years, and the many interpretations without the original master, Jesus, being able to properly show his message. And though, with deep analysis, there are few things within the Bible that have been preserved of the original teachings of Jesus, such as the third eye and loving one another, most of it has been taken out, altered, and rewritten to keep humanity at a fear state of vibration. So I'd suggest to anybody on the spiritual path, read through the Bible and pick out the gems you find. But this cannot be your source of God. A book is not a source of God. Jesus says worship the living God, and worshiping a book is no different than worshiping an idol, a statue. Long before the Bible, Jesus obtained and preached this knowledge to many people. This was the time when Christianity was its purest. This was when Christianity was spirituality. Many of the enlightened beings from the past, such as Buddha, Krishna, and also Jesus, have all taught very similar messages. And it's also interesting to note, the hand symbols that Jesus uses are known as mudras in Hinduism. The one displayed above shows the purification of the body. I say to any of the Christians who truly want to be as Jesus was, invest your mind, body, and soul into spirituality, for this is the true Christianity. As some of the preserved gems within the Bible say, not in the temple, but in spirit shall you pray. The temple is within. Holy buildings such as churches will not get you close to God. Listening to distorted versions of the truth will not get you close to God. Doing deep inner work with yourself and in your mind will connect you to the God within. This is the truth of what Jesus was saying. And the term prayer has been misconstrued over the years. There are two forms of prayer, manifestation and meditation. Both are primary aspects of spirituality. Spirituality is the untouched truth. It is the truth within yourself. Seek and you shall find, friends. For the truth lies within you, for you are God, and God is the truth. Jesus was teaching the ability to attain Christ consciousness. Though the messages have become misconstrued over the years, when you use your third eye and you connect with the truth itself, all shall be revealed. Jesus says, keep your spirits up. And in modern day spirituality, what this translates to is keep your vibrations high, raise your vibrations, because the higher your vibrations, the higher your connection to God will be, the higher the connection to yourself. And when we look at the 7 deadly sins, these are all things which will lower the vibration. This is because the 7 deadly sins are all negative states of being. Your mind is the gateway to the spirit world. It is like a satellite, and however you construct it, that is what you'll attract. When someone is living a low vibrational life, you tap into the low vibrational realms. These are the realms where the demons dwell. When you act out of any of these negative emotions, to some degree, this is what they would call demon possession. The societies we live in are structured to keep us in a low vibration. They want to keep us mindless puppets so that they may manipulate us for their own selfish desires. This is the devil's world. This is the world of the reptilians. This is the Babylonian matrix. We don't belong here. And this is where spirituality comes in. We are in the prophesized end of days. But as I've said in previous videos, this is not the end of all things. For those who are in tune with our universe and our earth, this is where the new Jerusalem, or the new 5D earth, shall take form. In the coming months, the matrix is going to grow stronger, but so is the spiritual resistance. We must leave this matrix, for it is the devil's playground. This is a time when we really need to focus on ourselves spiritually. This is a time when we can't rely on books or other people to do our work for us. This is a time when we must find our own connection. We must find our inner God. We must tap into the source. As we all obtain Christ consciousness, we must allow unconditional love to guide us into the future. And we must resist the mark of the beast. This is the microchip, be it in the form of a vaccine or the next big entertainment device. This is evil, and this is selling your soul. We must stick with the natural world, as moving away from it is moving away from God. As this is a time to spiritually awaken yourself, this is also a time to awaken others. Once you have awakened, it has become your responsibility to help those who still sleep, because together we can create the new Jerusalem. Together we can create the 5D new earth, which will be formed out of collective Christ consciousness. This is the time to speak your truth, no matter how crazy you sound. Get videos out there, get your own platforms, guide others in person. Together, let's pick up where the enlightened masters of the past left off, and let us also teach the blind how to see again.